At the stage, there he is, Stewart Dalby, who has been scouring the streets and the pubs and so on to get the scuttlebutt, the stories behind the stories. He's got a few thoughts, but you have been talking to a couple of senior politicians over the past few days.
Yes,
Stuart.
yeah.
So, what's your experiences for this past week?
This past week? Well,
yeah.
I mean, in local politics, I think that James McCleary has been very, very explicit about what the situation is in Lewis, because the boundaries have been removed. Have been removed.
Changed. Yeah.
And it could be that, that might, you see, everybody, wino, and everybody, every nice person, every nice people, and educated and so forth and so on, are actually talking about the Dems, and then we get the Green Party, which seems to be running the Lewis these days, and they keep talking about a green economy. And I say, look, I've been writing about green energy for what is a green economy? For God's sake, what is a green economy? For example, renewable energy, so forth. Green economy is, things like renewable energy, yeah?
Yeah.
So we talk about renewable energy is something which can actually get rid of carbon emissions, right? Yeah. So maybe that is what's known as an economy. But the fact of the matter is, there's been so little investment in green energy. There is not enough to actually get rid of carbon emissions. If you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You raise a fascinating point, Stuart, because although it was many years in the making, there was great speculation about what the boundary changes would mean, and then it all went quiet. What do they mean? Does it weigh in favour of any political party?
Yes, I think it's gerrymandering. Definitely. You know what gerrymandering is.
Rabbit. Yeah. Is it going to make any specific difference?
Well, forget when Miliband, David Miliband, he was very, very interested in renewable energy, all the way from 1923, wasn't it? Yeah. Or was it? Well, when was the miners' strike?
1973. Yeah.
1973. And he, when the oil was, when the 1973, when the coal strike.
Well, it was later than that, wasn't it? Really, because Margaret Thatcher came to power in 1979.
That's right, and that's when she privatised the companies, the suppliers, the energy suppliers, right? And what happened? That all these suppliers were actually doing just what they want in terms of prices and so forth and so on. So Ed Miliband says, if I get into power, I'm going to actually have an energy cap, right?
Yeah.
He didn't get into power. David, what's it? The Foreign Secretary now.
Cameron.
David Cameron got in, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was 2015, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Something like that. and he asked the companies and companies and agent companies and companies and something or other company cars decided they what happened was that they was when he asked the companies and something or other, we're getting what am I talking about? The companies were actually getting they finally got a lift to an energy cap, right?
Yeah.
Energy cap. The cap sort of what the company would actually what they could pay, right? What they could do, and eventually the energy cap went up and up and up, and the energy companies went up and up, and but they always charged just slightly below the energy cap. And so what happened was that the energy cap kept going, and in fact, it turned out that the energy companies, there was a cartel of energy companies, British Gas, EDF, French. EDF was here, wasn't it? EDF. Then there was E.ON, N-Power, and SAS, or something like that, and they were actually rank profiteering. For example, on the first day of 2020, the 1st of January, British Gas, until the 30th of June, had made a profit of 1.3 billion, or must it be million profit, and all the shareholders of the father thing of British Gas, which is Centrica, all the shareholders had their shares doubled. Again, rank profiteering. Yeah. Almost bordering on corruption, I would have thought.
Yeah. I'm not absolutely sure that I totally understand what you're saying. Are you saying that the concentration on energy and green and so on and so forth is likely to boost a change in the political landscape of Lewis District?
I don't think it has so far.
Think it will stay more or less the same?
I think so. Yeah.
So that the boundary changes haven't made a great deal of difference.
Well, as far as the green, no, I don't think so.
I mean, traditionally, Lewis has been a scrap between the Conservatives and the Lib Dems. Is that going to be true of this election?
Well, locally?
Yeah.
Oh no! That's a different story.
Yeah.
I mean, basically,
that's a story I'm really getting.
Oh, right, fine, right. Well, when the last election came on, right, I said to my friends, as I'm a bit psychic, I reckon that the Green Party is going to get the most seats this time. In fact, they got 17. No, what happened before that, right? Okay, no. Right, so the Lib Dem got 17. The Lib Democrats got... No, that's not true. What am I saying here? What's it? The Greens got 17, that's it, what I say. The Lib Dems got 15, and the Labour got 9, right?
Yeah.
And that meant that the Green Party was actually more or less working in a one-party state,
right?
Because they had such a majority.
Right.
And then what was your vote? So there. What you're saying? For example, look at Brighton. Brighton had a Green Party because I don't know why they got it, but they did get it because of the codes, you know, where didn't they?
Caroline Lucas was she was the only Green MP anywhere in the country, was she not?
Well, there's now two people trying to actually. You see, the whole thing. There was a whole story about the New Statesman, basically going back, and it said that what did it say? That the Green Party had every possibility of being the second party of opposition. But the problem is that the Green Party always has two leaders. Now, the real problem there is you got to the fact where that celebrities invade politics.
Right. Yeah.
So, for example, Boris Johnson, you know, I don't vote for the Conservative Party, I vote for Doris.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And therefore, when you go back to the Greens, nobody knows who runs them.
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
So you don't know who's running the flipping place. Yeah.
Basically, in this upcoming election, is that going to make any material difference to who is likely to come out the winner?
Which what?
In this national election, the one on July the 4th, Independence Day.
Who's going to win?
Yeah.
Well, everybody seems to think it's going to be a runaway Labour, aren't they?
Yes.
They're about 20%.
Nationally, but what about locally?
Or locally?
Yeah. Local national elections.
Are they? They're not up yet for it, are they?
Yes, yeah. They are. They're named. Six candidates are named for July the 4th.
Really?
Yeah.
So, what do you want me to say?
Well, who do you think is going to come out the winner?
Well, I think possibly, just possibly, I think the Lib Dems would just get it, basically. I wouldn't put my money on it, but I think that's a very good, because, I don't know, because, well, the Green Party in Lewis have made a mess of everything they touch.
Yeah.
Think about the Charleston situation. Yeah. Think about the human nature kind of things.
Yeah.
Things that good investigative journalists like ours tried to turn over. Now, look at the latest one. Get in a taxi. I go going talking to people in Lewis, and the word green comes up every time I watch it. I got in a taxi, and the Green Party had recently bought some car parking meters, but they didn't have the software to actually run it. You know? So that's, you can't actually sort of, put your money on somebody like that.
No.
And there's all kinds of things they've done, terrible bloody things, and they've wasted money. They wasted all their money. They put all that money into Charleston, then they put their money in human nature. They gave that money so that they can put to human nature, so they could put trees down, right?
Yeah.
Where possibly they're going to end up with floodplain. So it goes on like that, doesn't it?
Do you think that anybody other than either the Conservatives or the Lib Dems are serious contenders for the one member of Parliament seat that we've got for Lewis District?
Right. Who's going to get it?
Yeah. I mean, do you think there is any serious suggestion that the Greens will get it?
I think it's pretty remote, frankly. Yeah. Because they're not really used to big time.
No, they're not.
I would really hope that as a possible, very, very good opportunity for the Lib Dems, but particularly because we've got a very good person standing. James McCleary is a fantastic what he's done for Lewis Town. while he's trying to actually be a candidate. Think about it. Where the station, whether it was going to get shut down, right? Yeah, he solved that. What about the rubbish going? He did amazing work on that, right? And he actually carried on, although he's very busy trying to get into Westminster. He's actually done amazing things for the district. Don't you agree?
Well, I mean, the thing is that I try to be neutral on this program. I would say to you, I think that James McCleary is a very likable young man. I'm very loath to say that anybody should vote for anybody because they are likable nowadays. And our friend Harry Atherton from Normandy, in viewing at a distance, says a leader should not be liked. He should be prepared to make decisions which may be even unpopular.
Well, they should bloody well know. What about Macron?
Exactly.
And them French, are always
but he makes the point that Macron is caught as Europe starts to drift towards the right. But I agree with you that James McCleary is a very affable and nice young man. Do you think that will affect his chances of being elected?
No, I think what will affect it is what he's achieved. I mean, when you think about Charleston, right?
Yeah.
Southover Road, the district council's house was given over to Charleston for nothing.
Right.
Okay. And that they only had to do is the running it. That's £167. That's £1 million for 5 years, right? Right. So me and my researcher went to a company's house and found out that Charleston has £930,000 in hand, £8.5 million in assets, and 500,000 in revenues. They're rolling in flipping money. Why should we, the taxpayer, actually give them another 38 million?
Yeah. Well, what is James's role been in this? Has he sort of objected to this?
No, because Charleston seems to be a very good idea to most people. For example, the old Charleston Festival recently had my very good friend. I can't remember who my very good friend is. My very good friend, the photographer. Oh, my best mate, and I can't remember his name.
That happens to me all the time.
The best photographer in the world.
Right, but anyway, let's just call him best photographer at the moment. What did he do?
Takes war photographs.
All right.
Yeah.
So he had an exhibition, did he?
Yeah. He went to it. Yeah. He didn't need it, of course. God Almighty. I must be going.
I know it's frightening, isn't it? But it's one of those things that happens. So actually, you think that people now are coming around from being appalled at what the council did with Charleston is to accepting it.
Yeah.
I'm a bit dismayed at that, actually. I think that it is abuse of funds, but there we are. You actually have got your ears to the ground, and it is the sort of thing where public opinion does change. But I think I'm still no closer to you. Think that the Lib Dems are going to edge it on the local election. When you say edge, there seems to be around the country a feeling that Labour are going to actually whomp the Conservatives, and in fact they did locally in the local elections here. Do you not think it's going to be close?
Well, the fact that the Conservatives were wiped out in the local elections
Yeah,
really says something, doesn't it? Really.
yeah.
I mean, the old backward women just couldn't be bothered to come out and vote, I suppose. I mean, I don't know what it is. But it's just extraordinary for the whole lot to be wiped out, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm taking not that Maria Corford's bloody useless, and so on and so forth. Don McCullin, my great pal.
Right.
Sir Don McCullin to you.
Yeah.
And it's I'll tell you one little story for that, because I'm a working class person, so is Don. And we are friends, and it's like what Bob Dylan always said about celebrities. He said, "Heroes are not heroes once you've met them." So it's like yeah. And anyway, so Don and I are really on the same plan, if you like. And when we were in Cambodia, Don wanted to go up one of the dangerous roads, and he said, "Stewart, you come with me. I don't want to go with those snobby blokes from the Sunday Times."
So the two of you went up this dangerous road, did you?
Yes, you know what happened?
Right.
A terrible thing happened. Lon Nol's soldiers were going up this what's it, right?
Yeah.
And when we got there, we found that the colonel in charge had actually not paid the soldiers. So what they did was cut out his liver and cut out his heart. So we ran to cannibalistics. So I went back. I sent back to the bosses in London. I'm going straight back to Vietnam, and I ain't going back to Cambodia again.
Okay, Stewart. Now, I mean, the present election is on everybody's mind, and I mean, the one thing that you really have got going for you is you are accepted in this community. People like talking to Stewart Dalby, so they actually open up their minds and their hearts. And I'm trying hard to get from you as you travel around the pubs and you talk to people in the coffee shops and so on and so forth.
They talk to me.
All right, they talk to you. What is the you're a journalist. You're very sensitive to those things. What if I said to you, Stewart, I've got my life savings to bet on the outcome of this election, where would you tell me to put my life savings?
I don't think I'm actually there to actually tell you about that kind of thing. No. Well, the thing the point about me is, when I was leaving school, my headmaster wrote a report saying Stewart is of prepossessing appearance. Right?
Yes.
I told various people about this, and Mark Chadwick, the rock star, he said, "The fact about it, Stewart, is that you are charismatic." I said, "What? Me? Charismatic? I think I'm a magician or something." Yeah. But I mean, I do find that in the Lewis Arms, people do come and talk to me.
Yeah.
But quite recently, I just sitting down and someone was talking and so forth and so on. And then a guy came in, I didn't really know him, and he was sitting there and we were talking. And he said, this guy, I didn't even know him, he says, "Are you Stewart Dalby?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Are you the war correspondent?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Who told you that?" And he said, "Who said?" "Well, he's the artist." "You know the artist?" "What's he called?"
He's talking about the lady who's gathering you.
Oh, yeah.
Or are you talking about Pete Messer?
Pete Messer.
Yeah. Yes, right.
Well, actually, Pete Messer is a good story of mine, because when I was in Vietnam, I made a lot of money. And we had a house in London, and I came on a sale, and I bought a house in Lewis, okay? And I then ran into the DFL phenomenon.
Right.
Right.
Down from London, yes.
You're down
Yes.
from London. So Pete Messer says, oh, you're a DFL. I said, well, if you don't like me being a DFL, what about the filth? He said, what's that? I said, failed in London, try Hastings.
Incidentally, I was very amused. I think it was Lewis that I was watching on television, and in it he said UFL, and the guy said UFL is up from London. But Stuart, you are playing your cards very close to your chest. So let me be provocative. If I said, I think the communist is going to win in Lewis, what would your reaction be to that?
I think I'd send you bloody send you to the Lloyd toilet, I think. Communist in Lewis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So have you not got a feeling about who's going to walk past the winning post?
Who?
You.
In Lewis?
Yeah.
What for? The local election?
Well, for the elections for MP, yeah.
Well, it can, Labour Party. Oh, I think I put my money on James.
You put your money on James McCleary. Yeah.
Well, now that the Conservatives seem to have been wiped out, you know.
Yeah.
But then we've got these bloody Greens hanging about all the place.
Well, that's. I mean, you know, strange things happen in elections, and that's why I'm really sort of trying to get what your feeling is if it's solidly that James is going to walk it, then the chances are that we're going to have a Lib Dem MP. But if we're going to, if the Greens, because they're so strong, are going to have some sort of influence, will it change the result?
Well, locally?
Yeah.
No, the situation is this, right? At the previous election, the local election, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Lib Dems went up to Zoe Nicholson, the head of the Greens, and said, can we have another coalition? And Zoe Nicholson said no, because she had fallen out with her husband, Johnny Iron, right?
Yeah.
Right? So for Johnny Iron, because she fancied the head of the Labour Party. I think his name was Chris something or other, and that led to a coalition of, I think it was 23 people, led by the Greens. Okay?
Yeah.
And therefore, Zoe Nicholson is actually the leader.
Right. But Zoe Nicholson wouldn't entertain. Wouldn't entertain. Wouldn't entertain a coalition with the Lib Dems. Is that right?
Doesn't look like it. There's a coalition with the Labour Party.
Yeah. Because when we interviewed James McCleary, it's obvious that the Lib Dems had been nudged out of certain positions in the local council. I'm very interested that you are hedging your bets, because if you're hedging your bets, I think that nothing is a foregone conclusion. As Stuart, just in other things other than the election and politics, are there things happening that you think are significant in the overall scene?
I think that the countries. Look, you think back to the Harold Macmillan era.
Yeah.
When, you know, he suddenly lost his job, right? And the reason was fin du siècle. the Conservatives have had their day, despite they come back that era where there was lots of talent. You think about the Wilson government, which was absolutely packed with talent.
Yeah.
Roy Jenkins, you can think of loads of people, can't you? Who was it? Roy Jenkins, Klossman, Klossman. Who else was? Oh yes, you can think of some of these. Roy Jenkins, who was the one, the defence one, who lived in Alfriston in the end. Lots of very talented people.
Yeah.
And then John Major managed to get it as well. Now, when we had Brexit, really, Boris, who I happen to know, was favour of Europe. He was very, very, very keen on Europe because he worked there, and a lot of the rest of his father was an official there. And he changed his mind because his father said there's lots of gravy trains to be drunk in Brexiteer. So when Boris became Prime Minister, he packed his cabinet of second-rate people, right? Mm-hmm. So because he was frightened that he would be usurped by Rishi Sunak, but he didn't know that he was going to be usurped. So therefore, we've got nobody now that can really run the country. We haven't really got an outstanding person to run the country. Right. Don't you agree?
I would agree that there's no natural leader on the horizon. I agree. Yeah.
He's not on the horizon.
I think we're in for a painful 5 years.
He's not on the horizon. He's in number 10 already. Yes.
So there is nothing lurking that you think that our viewership should be aware of.
Oh, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you read the papers even what he's up to. Where it goes to me, as I read all the public prints, is that Rishi is almost prepared to actually quit and go back to the city of London where to make a load of money.
Isn't that interesting you should say that? Yeah. I got the same feeling. Yeah. He is a bit like a fish out of water in politics, isn't he? Yeah. The only thing that he's got is he's quite a good orator.
Well, he did a very good job in Belfast, didn't he? He did do a very good job.
Yes, he did, I guess.
But I see one of the papers said that's something that Rishi hopes that the work in Belfast will save him. That's what he said in one of the papers. I think it was the Eye.
Yeah. Right, have we got anything else to add to our programme this morning?
No, I don't think so. I think that's about it, isn't it, really?
Yes. You'll be back next Wednesday,
yes,
and we will have, hopefully, we'll have some of the candidates. There are 6 candidates running.
Oh, 6 now, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I know what I must ask you before we go. Do you think that reform will have any impact on local?
Well, I don't really know about reform and Conservatives, but I don't think that Farage will actually make it because he never did before. And I don't think that people really like Farage. I think he's a bit of a con man, really. He mucks about with older in America, doesn't he? Really, you know that he's a bit on the. He's somebody who's supposed to boast in the saloon bar, basically. Farage.
Have you ever met him?
Yes, I have, as a matter of fact. When I was doing Oil Barrel, Jim Mellor, who actually took over my business, he was a friend of Farage and got to see Farage. And I thought, well, do I want to actually mingle with this saloon bar? 4.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
don't think he has any sort of program at all.
Yeah.
What he wants to say is, he's awful, he's rotten, he can't do it, So.
It's interesting because the two of us, we both met him. Your interpretation is he's a saloon barman, and I understand that. Mine is that he's a man of the people, and that perhaps that's what the country needs instead of what was it that your friend said? The snooty people from the Sunday Times.
Oh, for God's sake! You think that Farage works for the whole people? That's not.
Well, no politician works for the people.
Yes,
all politicians work for themselves.
All right, let's prove that the Conservatives have got the majority, right? He has actually made an intake on the Conservatives to make them more rabid than they are. Like Suella, that awful, terrible Suella, what's her name?
Braverman.
Suella Braverman, go to Randa, sort of thing, Yeah, I mean, I really, really don't like those people. I mean, they're so bloody. It's almost fascist.
And how would you view the Labour front bench?
Well, they're just socialists. They're not communists or socialists. They're light socialists, if you like.
Yes, I mean they're socialists.
Yeah.
Do you see them as exceptional people?
I wouldn't put them in the rank of Attlee.
No.
I wouldn't even put them in the rank of Tony, what's his name?
Tony Blair.
Tony Blair.
Yeah.
And I really can never forgive him for messing up with the National Health Service. So when they should have actually given all the power to the matrons, he brought in consultants and paid them loads of bloody money.
Yeah.
So he actually buggered the NHS.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Is according to don't leave until we actually have clocked out. Stewart Dalby, Mirador's political expert, political guru, and is showing a certain amount of ambivalence this morning. Is not prepared to plump for anybody, which means that in my book there is a lot of uncertainty out there in the Shire and in the Shires, for that matter. So perhaps this isn't going to be the clean sweep that Labour are expecting. Although in this particular constituency, you think it's going to be the Lib Dems that will take it.
I hope so. I very much hope so. But then again, something nasty, so has changed the boundaries, so it could be dodgy.
Right. Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to get at, is the boundary change.
You've got to remember that the local Conservative lady is very, very disliked.
Yes. But then her party is not well liked at the moment, is it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yes, that tends to reflect.
Well, they're very hidden. You can't find one of them anymore.
Okie dokie.
Right.
Thanks, Stuart. Don't move for a moment. We'll say toodle pip. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 8:00 with some more of who knows what on Mirador.
Okay,
Cheers.
Cheers.